From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 2nd, 2024. The IDF announced the deaths of 3 Israeli soldiers today, 2 of whom were killed in fighting against Hamas terrorists in Gaza yesterday, and 1 who was killed during a counter-terror operation in the West Bank yesterday. 30-year-old Master Sergeant in Reserve Nadav Elchanan Knoller and 25-year-old Major in Reserve Eyal Avnion were killed during fighting against Hamas in Gaza. 22-year-old Sergeant First Class in Reserve Yehuda Ghetto was killed when the armored personnel carrier he was inside of was hit by a roadside bomb, which also seriously injured another IDF soldier. The IDF also continues to defend its northern border against terror group Hezbollah in Lebanon. Rockets were fired at several parts of northern Israel today from Lebanon, including some 15 rockets at Kiryat Shmona. The IDF said most were intercepted by the Iron Dome, and there were no injuries there. The IDF also said that a drone was fired from Lebanon today, saying a suspicious aerial target was identified that did not cross towards Israeli territory. It was intercepted, and there were no injuries. Well, the mother of former hostage Noah Argamani, Leora Argamani, died of terminal brain cancer today. Leora, who was 61, had made public appeals for her daughter's release, with her deepest wish to be reunited with her daughter before she died. Noah, her parents' only child, who was rescued 3 weeks ago in a daring IDF operation, was able to be by her mother's side in her final days. In eulogizing her mother today, Noah Argamani thanked her mother for holding on. A new Gallup poll on anti-Semitism was released today. It found that most Americans see anti-Semitism as a problem in the U.S., 49% saying they think it is currently a very serious problem, 32% saying it is somewhat of a problem. 46% of Jewish Americans said they have experienced more poor treatment or harassment in the past year than in prior years. When asked, do you ever feel reluctant to share your religious affiliation with others because of fear of harassment or poor treatment, 60% of Jewish Americans, more than double the national average, answered yes. 3 Israel supporters who attended a public event Saturday at a public library in North Carolina said they were attacked there. The Argamani reports the incident took place at an event titled Strategic Lessons from the Palestinian Resistance, one of several anti-Israel events hosted at the library. When someone in the room announced that there were quote-unquote Zionists present and also said they were live streaming the event, the 3 Israel supporters, including an 80-year-old man, were physically attacked and forcibly dragged out of the library. The victims said they were surrounded by dozens of the attendees, repeatedly punched and pushed to the ground. Police were eventually called to the scene. 1 arrest was made. An investigation is ongoing. The American Jewish Committee said of the assault, "This is unacceptable and outrageous anywhere, but especially at a public library," calling for justice to be served. 7 Holocaust museums in the U.S. issued a joint statement yesterday in the wake of ongoing incidents of vandalism against both Holocaust museums and other Jewish organizations. The Museum of Jewish Heritage, a living memorial to the Holocaust in New York City, the Florida Holocaust Museum, the Holocaust Center for Humanity in Seattle, the Holocaust Museum of Los Angeles, the Illinois Holocaust Museum and Education Center in Chicago, the Nancy and David Wolf Holocaust and Humanities Center in Cincinnati, and the Zeckelman Holocaust Center of Detroit wrote, "The senseless scapegoating of Jews did not begin or end with the Holocaust. It's been happening for thousands of years. And while the pretext may change, the anti-Semitic motivation is the same." The statement noted and condemned the most recent incident of vandalism last month against the Seattle Humanities Center, where, as we reported to you, a photo of a child Holocaust survivor was defaced with the phrase genocide in Gaza. Local police, though, determined that it was not a hate crime. The museums noted that hate crimes against American Jews have tripled since Hamas's unprovoked terrorist attack against Israeli civilians on October the 7th, with many of those crimes motivated by inaccurate allegations of genocide against Israel. Our mission to guard the memory of Holocaust survivors and victims requires clarity on what does and does not constitute genocide, especially where misconceptions lead to hateful acts of anti-Semitism, stressing that education is the only way to break this cycle. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, July the 2nd at 8 o'clock. Justin Pines is joined by Torah teacher and sociologist of American Jews, Mijal Bitton. At 9, members of Israel's national baseball team, Eric Holtz, Eric Brodkowitz, and Peter Kurz are on L'chaim. At 10, Benjamin Anthony trains with IDF soldiers and tours Israel's Carmel market on Israel Outside In. At 10:30, a replay of the news, and coming up next, Shalom Hartman President Yehuda Kurtzer presents the Michelle Gary Memorial Lecture. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 2nd, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.